Okay, got the small block old engine scooted over here, and I'm going to start getting it separated from the transmission and start getting the transmission mounted up, married up to the new motor. Then I'll get this thrown on the engine stand and set aside until I can get some free time to go through it. Read through all the instruction booklet on how to wire this up. It's super easy. Brian from BD Turnkey hooked me up with very clear instructions. I'm always pretty nervous about wiring. I'm not very good at it. I don't understand it very well, but he did an awesome job setting all this up. Literally just 2 wires to get the thing, well actually 4 wires to get the thing to fire up just as it is, but it's also interfaceable to my race pack. I can either do it, I guess you could say analogly through these wires, or just to plug it into the OBD2 port, which it came with. So super easy. All I got to do is just plug it into the OBD and it gives all the information to the race pack dash. So super cool. Anyway, that's my plan right now. Get this separated, double check it, make sure everything looks good, bolt it on. Brian provided me with the Turbo 400 Flexplate, so it should bolt right up. I might have to get an adapter just because this is dished in a little bit. I guess with Gen 3-4 engines, the Turbo 400 torque converter is stepped back a little bit, so the alignment plug has to be a little bit longer. So I'll probably look into that and get one. Got the cab stripped down. I took the dash out, and that way I can bring the crane right in from the top and lift the new engine and trans up. And there's the dash there. The fascia plates that I made, I got them cleaned up and riveted on. I'm gonna take the dash out, or the tack gauge out of that, and I'll clean it up and throw a fresh coat of paint on it. But that's where we're at today. Work on getting this thing ready to go in. It should slide right on in there. It's gonna sit a little bit higher. The intake manifold will be in this general area. Not too much different than the air cleaner was. It does have a low profile oil pan on it. So that's gonna bring the engine up a little bit, but that's fine. I got plenty of room. I will have to relocate possibly the motor mounts. Here they are here. Might have to change, well, I will have to change these plates. It's a 4-bolt setup, so I might just use the plates that Brian already has on there and then locate where they go onto these brackets here. Anyway, my point is I'm gonna have to do a little bit of fab work on the motor mount positioning, and then once all that's in there, I'll get the headers put on. I'm gonna take those exhaust manifolds off because they won't work. I got new stainless LS headers from Speed Engineering, which I got to give kudos to. I ordered them and I got them like a day later. Came from Fresno. Very nice TIG welded LS headers. So once I get the engine in, I'll put the headers on it, figure out the routing of the exhaust and my pedal. It's going to be, I think, surprising of how much more room I have here, because as you see how wide the older style engine is, this is a lot narrower. Everything's much more compact. The new headers will come off and the collectors will be up here, and they'll run out just like this one did. That way, the same configuration, the collector pipe will come down just like that to the mufflers. But my point is the engine's a lot narrower, the new engine is, and it's gonna just give us a lot more room to work with, which is really nice. So that's where I'm at. That's what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna get that thing separated and buttoned up and connected. I don't know if you can hear it, but it is super windy outside. But the new building seems to be holding up pretty well. It's not blowing away. That's good news. Bam, just like that. Awesome. Yeah, so you can see the difference here. This is really flat. And the newer Turbo 400 has this dish here. Here and here. It's a real deep dish here. So it puts the flex plate farther in. So I have to adapt. Put the little spacer, I don't know what the alignment plug thing that goes in here. This dealy bobber here. It's got to be longer. All right, it's been a couple of days since I got the engine separated from the motor. I had to order an LS torque converter adapter. I thought I had one. I couldn't find it, so I had to order it from Summit. So it took a day or so to get here. And what this does is it goes on here. Well, it lines up the torque converter with the flex plate, because this is dished. If we didn't have this, there would be a gap, and the torque converter would be able to harmonically move back and forth, and this just keeps it in alignment and keeps it from moving. So that just slips in there, and then it fits over the torque converter here, and that's a bit of a snug fit, so I can tap it on there. And then the next thing I did is I got these little hooks to lift the engine up
I have an engine trolley, or the leveler crank thing, but the chains aren't long enough, and it'll hit all this stuff, and I don't want to tear this all apart, and I don't want to damage anything. So I'm going to use these hooks here, bolt those in there with grade 8 bolts, and then I can run my soft shackles over it to the crane and pick it up that way. So that's what I'm going to do there. I'll just do it old school, hook it to the head, front and back, and then pick it up. All I got to do is pick it up enough to get the transmission hooked together, and then I set it on that heavy duty furniture dolly there, and then it just rolls underneath the truck. And then I'll put the crane, just like you saw when we took it out, I'll put the crane through the roof down to the engine and then pick it up through the bottom. So that's it. That's where we're at. So today, it's kind of late in the day. I'm not going to get a whole lot done, but I might attempt to put that onto the motor, get it bolted up. I've got grade 12 stainless steel bolts there. Yeah, I might do that. And then, we'll see. got that hooked up. That was kind of a pain in the butt. I had to get, and the instructions said that I would need to, but I didn't. But you not only required that spacer for the center crankshaft alignment, but you need little spacers for the actual flex plate bolts too. So that was kind of sucked reaching up under there, but it's on there. So I'll cover this back up. It'll sit like this for a little bit. I'm just gonna get this all cleaned up, repainted. There's a couple brackets I'm gonna trim out of there that we don't need anymore. And then, yeah, get that slid up in there. So, cool. Okay, I got the transmission married up to the motor. Got that stuff cleaned up a little bit. Today, Julie's gonna come out and help me get the engine off of that pallet stand. We're gonna put it on that little dolly. I wanna get rid of these brackets. This is the old bracket that held the oil system. We don't need that anymore. And there's a couple other old brackets and stuff that I'm gonna cut and grind out, clean it up a little bit. So I'm gonna do that now. And then finally, the fire suppression system, I gotta get that bottle out because obviously it's discharged. I need to send it to Safecraft and have them service the bottle and refill it. And I've been talking to Safecraft. Might be hopefully working on something with those guys. Being an ex-firefighter, my wife's a deputy fire marshal. We're really big on safety and promoting it and being an advocate of that. So hopefully we can work something out with Safecraft and maybe be an ambassador for them. But regardless, I'm gonna add a second system. This one's a manual pull system. I wanna add an automatic system because in the event that maybe we get knocked out, you know, the what if situation. What if we crash and roll over and we get knocked out and a fire starts when we're not conscious enough to pull the manual? It would be really nice to have a second redundancy of an automatic system that would automatically deploy extinguishing agents. So we're gonna add that too, is my point. This long explanation. We're gonna add a second extinguishing system in there that's gonna be automatic. So, okay, enough of me babbling. I think I'm gonna change the location of this system here and move it to where it's a little easier to get to. Moving where they're a little more accessible. There we go. Okay. There we go. March of 2003. All right, I'll get that sent off. Push the cable back through, I guess. Probably should leave it. I need to weld this back up in there too. I'll leave this the same place it was is in a good location, I think. Worked out really good. Paint that though, because it looks like crap. Rusted. But we'll put it back up in the center there where it was. There's a good spot. Back up there like that. So I think I'll remove that bracket there. I'm gonna have 2 bottles now. Maybe I'll put them up here so they're easier to get to. Put one here and one over there because that coolant line won't be there anymore. That coolant line won't be there anymore. I can put one bottle here and the other bottle there maybe. I don't know. Figure it out. Make it better to get to. Okay,